Seoul had barely recovered from the dazzling spectacle of the 2025 Blue Dragon Film Awards when an unexpected rumor began to surge through every entertainment portal in South Korea. The awards ceremony, held at KBS Hall in Yeouido, had concluded only hours earlier. But the night's afterglow was quickly overshadowed by something far more intriguing. Whispers began to circulate backstage almost immediately after the ceremony ended, suggesting that two of the event's brightest stars, Jun-ho and Yoona, had once again disappeared from the venue around the same time. At first, the news sounded like a simple coincidence. But as dawn neared, it became clear that this was something the public could not ignore. Jun-ho and Yoona had already drawn considerable attention during the ceremony. Though they did not walk the red carpet together, observers noted an undeniable ease in the way they interacted throughout the evening. Yoona's appearance in a pale silver gown had captivated the cameras, while Jun-ho's sharply tailored midnight black suit radiated quiet confidence. But it wasn't their fashion that had people talking. It was the small, almost imperceptible gestures between them, the way Jun-ho looked at Yoona during her awards speech, the soft laugh she let out when he approached her backstage, the way their shoulders seemed to lean closer than necessary during group photos. Still, nothing concrete hinted at more than simple camaraderie, until later that night. Around midnight, Dispatch Korea released an unexpected alert. The headline was simple, but powerful enough to jolt the entire industry awake. Exclusive: Lee Jun-ho and Yoona seen together in Seongsu after Blue Dragon Film Awards. The accompanying photographs captured the two stars entering Saran Cafe, a discreet, warm-lit coffee shop tucked away in a quieter alley of Seongsu-dong. The place was known among insiders as a haven for celebrities seeking privacy, and its second-floor seating area had long been a refuge from prying eyes. According to Dispatch, the two entered the cafe within 45 seconds of each other, Jun-ho first, wearing a black cap and long wool coat, followed shortly by Yoona in a soft white overcoat and minimal makeup. That was all it took to ignite the fire. An hour, major outlets like Sports Chosun, Herald Pop, and JTBC Entertainment Desk published their own analyses, each citing sources who claimed the interaction between the two during the awards ceremony seemed unusually intimate. One staff member, who worked backstage at the Blue Dragon Film Awards, told Sports Chosun, "They seemed closer than before. Not in a dramatic way, but in the way two people act when they're already comfortable with each other. They weren't performing for cameras. Their energy felt quiet and natural." The staff member added that Jun-ho appeared attentive toward Yoona the entire evening, subtly checking whether she had eaten and even offering his jacket at one point when she looked cold. The details struck the public as particularly compelling. Given Jun-ho's reputation for being respectful but reserved around female colleagues, his uncharacteristic warmth toward her did not go unnoticed. Inside Saran Cafe, according to a barista who chose to remain anonymous, the atmosphere was calm. They weren't acting like a couple trying to hide. The barista explained in a statement to JTBC. They sat near the window upstairs, kept their heads down to avoid attention, but their conversation seemed relaxed. There was no awkwardness, no distance. It looked like they had known each other for a long time. The barista's testimony fed directly into a growing narrative that this was not the first time Jun-ho and Yoona had met privately. Although their schedules kept them busy, rumors of quiet interactions had been circulating for months. Fans recalled spotting them leaving the same gallery opening in Cheongdam earlier that year. Others remembered seeing both of them exiting a workshop in Hapjeong within minutes of each other. Some even claimed the pair frequented the same Pilates studio in Mapo, often with overlapping training times. At the time, these sightings seemed unremarkable. In hindsight, netizens argued, they were puzzle pieces of a much larger picture. Their dynamic during the Blue Dragon ceremony further fueled speculation. Footage from the awards broadcast showed Jun-ho glancing at Yoona with an expression that fans described as too soft to ignore, as she stepped up to present an award. Cameras caught him smiling faintly. When Yoona walked past him backstage after finishing her segment, Jun-ho leaned in to say something. She responded with a small laugh, one that viewers interpreted as natural, familiar, and unforced. Clips of this brief exchange circulated rapidly on TikTok and Instagram, accumulating millions of views within hours. Fans began dubbing them the 2025 Blue Dragon pair. Despite the increasing buzz, this story's standout was the timing and context. Korean entertainment is no stranger to dating rumors. This particular case differed in tone. There was no scandal attached. No controversy hinted at. No sense of damage control brewing. Instead, there was an air of mature curiosity. Two top stars, admired for their professionalism and clean public images, repeatedly appearing together in a way that suggested something more personal may be unfolding. Industry insiders weighed in carefully. One veteran casting director told Herald Pop, "Both of them have reputations for being emotionally steady and extremely selective about the people they let close. If they are meeting this often, even if it's casual, they trust each other deeply." His comments suggested that the frequency of these interactions indicated more than coincidence. Meanwhile, fans revisited past interviews where both actors shared thoughts on relationships. In a magazine interview last year, she was asked how she approached romance in her 30s. She answered thoughtfully, "I like relationships that feel peaceful. I prefer honesty and emotional steadiness over excitement or drama." Her words resurfaced on every major news portal following the Dispatch leak. Similarly, Jun-ho's old interview for a drama promotion also returned to the spotlight. When asked whether he believed in destiny, he said, "I don't know if everything is fate. But I do believe certain people enter your life at the right moment. And when they do, you naturally want to hold on to them." The quote spread widely, and fans were quick to connect the sentiment to his current situation with Yoona. In addition to the public's fervent reactions, more details emerged regarding what happened after the cafe meeting. According to Dispatch, the pair left separately, but only a few minutes apart, walking in the same direction toward a parking area behind a row of boutique shops. The subtle coordination raised eyebrows. Dispatch emphasized that neither star attempted to disguise themselves heavily, suggesting their intention was not to hide entirely but merely to avoid causing unnecessary commotion. Nuance triggered further debate. Some argued that their relaxed behavior pointed to comfortable friendship, the kind that didn't require secrecy. Others insisted the lack of heavy disguise indicated a relationship that had moved past casual boundaries and into a stable, private phase. A third group believed the pair might simply be preparing for a joint project. But the more the public discussed, the clearer it became that no explanation satisfied everyone. Curiosity only grew. And yet, in the face of escalating speculation, their agency issued a definitive denial. Instead, both SM Entertainment and JYP Entertainment responded with cautious, nearly identical statements. SM said, "Not confirmed the nature of the meeting." Yoona's schedule included private engagements following the awards ceremony, JYP stated. Jun-ho met with acquaintances after the event for understanding regarding the artist's personal time. Both statements were vague, but that vagueness spoke volumes. Entertainment analysts on late-night broadcasts pointed out that agencies typically deny baseless rumors swiftly. The absence of a strong denial suggested that the situation required careful handling. One JTBC Entertainment anchor remarked, "If it were a misunderstanding, both agencies would have shut it down early." Careful wording implies they are giving the artist space, either because something is developing or because they respect the privacy of two professionals who handled the situation responsibly. By early morning, the online atmosphere had reached a fever pitch. Search rankings continued climbing. Comments poured in from fans worldwide expressing hope, excitement, and curiosity. The general tone remained overwhelmingly positive, reflecting the public's long-standing admiration for both stars. The morning after the Blue Dragon Film Awards, news of the Seongsa late-night meeting continued to dominate entertainment headlines. Reactions from industry insiders and those close to the two stars began filtering quietly through trusted media channels. What initially seemed like a small spark now evolved into one of the most discussed stories in Korean entertainment, compelling both fans and analysts to question whether the repeated encounters between Jun-ho and Yoona were merely coincidental, or the early signs of something deeper forming between them. Yoona was the first to make an indirect appearance in the public eye following the incident. Scheduled for a brief interview with JTBC for an unrelated promotional segment, she arrived at a broadcast station with her usual poised demeanor. However, the press waiting outside noticed a slight, expected softness in her expression, something they described as calm rather than guarded. When asked about her night after the Blue Dragon ceremony, she smiled gently and replied, "It was a meaningful evening. I met people I'm comfortable with." It wasn't a confirmation, but it wasn't a denial either. Her tone carried a hint of warmth that fans immediately clung to. sparking fresh discussions online. Sources close to Yoona provided more context to Sports Seoul later that day. One staff member who has worked with her for years shared, "Yoona relies on people who bring her peace. She doesn't let just anyone into her private circle. If she chooses to meet someone late at night after such a big event, it means that person matters." Though the staff member did not mention Jun-ho by name, the implication was clear enough. Meanwhile, Jun-ho maintained his characteristic silence, choosing not to issue any direct comment. Yet, a member of his team allowed a subtle insight to JTBC. "Jun-ho respects Yoona deeply," the insider said. "They understand each other well. Beyond that, it's their private matter." The refusal to deny and the presence of the word respect, a term Korean fans instantly analyze, became the center of online speculation for the entire day. Soon, new details emerged about the pair's recent history. An anonymous source revealed that both actors had attended a private gathering at a residence in Seoul Forest Trimage just a month earlier, though the gathering included several industry friends. Witnesses noted that Jun-ho and Yoona seemed unusually at ease with each other. Another detail surfaced from a Mapo Pilates studio where both stars reportedly trained at overlapping hours. A trainer, speaking carefully, said, "Their schedules overlap more often than most coincidences I have seen. They greeted each other naturally. Not like acquaintances but like people who already shared understanding." Industry analysts stepped forward with commentary. Veteran entertainment critic told Herald Pop, "Carry exceptionally clean public images. Neither is known for dating scandals. If they are spending consistent private time together, it likely reflects emotional sincerity." Another analyst on Edo Day explained that relationships between top-tier idols turned actors tend to be built slowly and deliberately, often grounded in mutual respect forged through shared career pressures. Families, too, appeared to play a subtle role. A close acquaintance of Yoona's family mentioned to Newson, "Her parents admire humility and responsibility they see in Jun-ho." On the other side, one familiar with Jun-ho's family said, "They like people who are hard-working, respectful, and considerate." Yoona fits that image. Although these comments were unofficial, they added warmth to the already growing narrative. Online, public reaction remained overwhelmingly positive. Fans created edits merging their Blue Dragon moments with clips from previous appearances, calling them the Blue Dragon pair. Wrote that this was the one celebrity rumor they genuinely hoped would become true. A recurring comment on Korean forums read, "If it's them, report without hesitation." As the day progressed, the question became impossible to avoid: would Jun-ho and Yoona address the rumor directly? Agencies stayed cautious, repeating the same neutral responses from the previous night. Analysts suggested this silence indicated a delicate situation, neither a flat denial nor a confirmation, but something quietly unfolding beneath the surface. That afternoon, Dispatch Korea released a final note summarizing their stance: "We have observed their interactions multiple times. Nothing we have captured suggests irresponsibility, scandal, or anything negative. If anything, their dynamic appears steady and mature." With that, the narrative shifted from sensational curiosity to heartfelt fascination. It was no longer just about being caught together. It was about whether two of Korea's most beloved stars might be gradually building something real in the calm spaces away from the spotlight. Evening settled over Seoul. The questions remained: was it coincidence that they kept crossing paths? Or was fate weaving something more intricate between them? The answer, for now, rested quietly in the spaces only they shared. Their smiles, gestures, and timing meant anything. The story was far from over, and the nation was ready to follow wherever it led.